Hi guys, welcome back to Tira Aitana. My name is Abby, and today we are going to be doing our weekly chakra reading. I'm gonna do like last week, and I'm sorry that the video was late. I'm gonna do like the full wheel in this video just because I don't have enough time to do all of them separately for this week. So I'm gonna do the wheel, and I'm sorry last week's video was late. I was in Grenada and I could not the signal, it was like 3G and the Wi-Fi was just too slow and it wasn't loading like fast enough, so I was just like, okay, you know what, I'll just upload it when I go back. So I did that, so I apologize for posting it late. But and there's one more video from Grenada that I need to post, so keep an eye out for that. So we're gonna do the chakra wheel again just because I'm catching up on like a lot of orders and stuff that I'm sending over. So I'm gonna do the wheel. We're gonna pull 2 cards for each. So two cards for what's blocking, 2 cards for what's healing for each chakra, and then we're gonna pull out some oracle cards and we're gonna talk about it, everything. So what is blocking our root chakra for the week of October 29th to November 5th? What is blocking our root chakra? One more card. Oh shit. Interesting. We're gonna talk about it. Okay. How can we best heal a root chakra this week? How can we best heal a root chakra this week? Woo. How can we best heal a root chakra this week? Okay, so 3 cards wanted to fly out. Okay. What is blocking our sacral chakra this week? Oh shit. What is blocking our sacral chakra this week? Sacral chakra this week. What is blocking our sacral chakra this week? Jesus Christ. Okay. How can we best heal our sacral space this week? Wait. There we go. How can we best heal our sacral space this week? Wow. Oh shit. Okay, hold on. It's too many cards, so we're gonna best heal our sacral space this week. What is blocking our solar plexus this week? What is blocking our solar plexus this week? Okay, that makes sense. Oh shit. Hold on. Oh, Jesus Christ. Everything just wants to jump at me without me asking first. Y'all need to hold on. How can we best heal our solar plexus this week? How can we best heal our solar plexus this week? How can we best heal? Okay. Interesting. What? I'm like, wait, what am I saying? What is blocking our heart chakra this week? I can't. What is blocking our heart chakra this week? I can't even talk today. That's what it is. I can't talk. Okay. How can we best heal our heart chakra this week? Ooh. Let's heal our heart chakra this week. This is very interesting. I'm gonna pull one more card for our heart space. Okay. Okay. What is blocking our throat chakra this week? What is blocking our throat chakra this week? Blocking our throat chakra this week. Ooh. Interesting. How can we best heal our throat chakra this week? Shit. Okay. Alright. Okay. Hold on. How can we best heal our throat chakra this week? How can we best heal our throat chakra this week? Your best healer throat chakra this week. You know what? I'm gonna keep those two because that's fair. What is blocking our third eye this week? Ooh. Hold on. What is blocking our third eye chakra this week? Ooh. Okay. How can we best heal? That is crazy. Oh, wow. Okay. What is blocking our crown chakra this week? Wait. Okay. So that's very interesting. How can we best heal our crown chakra? How can we best heal? How can we best heal our How can we best heal our crown chakra this week? Oh shit! No, that's way too many cards. Not playing. How can we best heal our crown chakra this week? Let me pull one more card for that. Just like did a whole entire. That's crazy that that card came up again. Bottom of the deck, the Fool, the Ace of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. We're going to pull the Oracle card at the end. So for the root chakra, what is blocking our root chakra for this week is the World and the High Priestess. This is a very interesting blockage because this is Saturn and this is like, the High Priestess is a very much knowledgeable person. It's as grounded knowledge as you can get in tarot. So this is interesting that this is the blockage for this week as far as like the world. It could be like traveling or needing to, like you're stuck, or you haven't finished a lesson, or you haven't gotten to the grounding of whatever it is that you have needed to be grounded in. Like it's not there. It's not where it needs to be. And that's like the, it's a frustrating, it's a frustrating thing because it's almost like the lesson is there and you might be aware of the lesson. You're very, like, you know what it is, but it still has not reached the climax. When it's over and you've like moved on to the next phase, it's still like it's kind of lingering. So there's kind of an awareness of understanding why something doesn't need to be there, but it's still there and it's still really annoying. And so this kind of awareness is blocking that chakra space for this week, because it's kind of like, the best way that I can explain it is like when you just want something to be over but it's not, and it's still like lingering, and kind of like it's almost like watching an iceberg melt. It's like it's taking too long for it to end. It's taking too long for you to get the benefit of what it is that you were supposed to learn from this, what you were supposed to achieve from this. It's taking too long for you to connect mentally, almost like, because this is pretty much like third eye crown. This is like root chakra, sacral chakra. So it's like it's taking, like, the imbalance from up and down is there, so much so that it's not like there is no balance in there, and so there is kind of like a lack of benefiting from any of these placements, any of the chakras, any of those there's just no benefit from the imbalances. And because it's not balanced and it's not done where you feel like, okay, I've achieved, I've completed, this is over now, because it's not there, even though you know there's an awareness of why it needs to happen, why it's gonna happen, like it's this is where I'm going. The energy is just like lingering. It's just lingering. There's a lingering energy of knowledge, of awareness, but not completion. And so it's frustrating. There's a very frustrating aspect of our root chakra this week, where it's like we can tell where stuff is kind of like more leaning towards something else than the other, and so it's like it's not where we need it to be, basically. The best way for us to heal this week, according to the cards, It's the Four of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Moon. So if you were working with the Moon, as per last week for that beautiful, beautiful Taurus moon, then you were working with earth energy, which is grounding energy. However, I know y'all didn't forget about Uranus being in Taurus, right? Because that was definitely doing some stuff with that. And so there's a lot of kind of just like, if you're working with your intuition, and because these two cards are also cards of intuition. If you're working with your intuition and you know that there's stuff, you know, that's still taking time to manifest, because manifestations don't always have to come in 5 seconds, then you know that you need to kind of hold on to the grounding that you set for yourself, energetically speaking. Like, you set yourself up to be grounded, you set yourself up to be stronger, you set yourself up to be in and have a good foundation. Start anew, whether it's like it's affecting you money, physically, like your body, whatever intention that you set with the moon, you need to give it time for it to develop as well, because you can't just go from intention to completion that quickly. That's kind of the idea, but you need to hold on to that intention as well. That's what this is. You need to wait to see the development, see how you get to this world card, get to the completion, go through the journey, because it's a journey. And once we get into Sag season, it's like, it's all about the journey. It's been about the journey with Aries, but it's all about the journey with Sag. So hold on to the intentions. Don't just give up, and don't feel like just because something didn't manifest in 2 seconds or something like that, that it's not going to happen. You just need to give it some time for this physical manifestation, this physical completion, because this is the card of completion. There's a lot of like 10s in here. Like, this is the 20. Well, technically this is 21, but there's still a lot of like pretty much close to completion cards in here that is like, hey, you know, just give it time, just wait. There's actually a lot of 10s in this reading, so there's also that, but just give it time, patience. Now for our sacral chakra, what is blocking our sacral space, interestingly enough, is Temperance and the Ace of Swords, which means that, one, we are now balanced. I mean, y'all should have learned from Libra season, but I guess we're doing this. One, we are not in balance. We're not tempering. We're not in a place where we feel mentally and emotionally stable. And I mean, of course, because there's so much water in the chart. So, of course, this Ace of Swords is like, there's kind of stuff that needs to be said that's not being said at this moment, but it's coming out from these imbalances. If your mind is not in a balanced place, you're not going to be able to actively say what needs to be said properly. It might just, you might be formulating it in your head, but it might actually not come out the right way because there is no balance. And this in our sacral space is interesting, because remember when I said that thoughts actually affect the sacral chakra a lot, because that sacral space holds the trauma. This is mental trauma that we're holding here now, and this is from a lack of imbalance. And the best way that we're going to heal that this week is through the 10 of Swords and the 6 of Cups, which is very interesting. Connecting to family, connecting to loved ones, connecting to what's comforting, what's genuine, what's authentic, what is innocent. This card for me, 6 of Cups, is always a card of innocence for me. It's an innocent love. It's an innocent connection. It's an honest and true connection. The 10 of Swords says that you really need to just release. There's a release that's happening. Don't forget that this specific chakra is ruled by Scorpio. Releasing is important, because there's like a light and darkness here, and there's like that imbalance that needs to kind of just be dealt with and put out like immediately. It just needs to happen immediately. What is blocking our solar plexus for this week? The Queen of Cups, the 9 of Wands, and the 6 of Swords. So there's a lot of like emotional, it's the water energy, and it's kind of like, it's hard because this chakra is fire. This is a fire chakra. This is a will chakra, and our will is kind of getting a little bit kind of masked out with all the emotional energy. There's a lot of that, it's more emotional that's being asked of us, that we're just like, I can't be fiery right now, the feels. So it's really like focusing and working through the mental traumas and the mental release that we need to do with our sacral space. That's really going to get us through the solar plexus aspect, to get us back into the fiery element, even though there's a lot of water. So it's mainly like the passion of the thing and moving through passion, moving past our difficulties, past our traumas, past the things that we need to let go of in order for us to achieve. A lot of this is going to have to do with going into hermit mode, by the way. So the best way for us to heal that this week is with the Chariot and the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords is interesting because the Seven of Swords is always like, people see it as like, it's deceit, it's lies and all this stuff. But this is also like sneaking away with your thoughts. This is running away with your thoughts. And the best way to like really heal that this week, hilariously, is to work out those mental, these kind of like mental traumas that keep popping up. There's a force here. There's an active action. The Chariot is also the card of Cancer. So this is another water energy right now. And so it's funny because also the moon is in Cancer currently. It's going to be going into Leo tomorrow. Then Virgo. Next week we have a beautiful new moon in Scorpio. But it's really like right now with this cardinal energy, it's like, hey, you know, you can hermit right now. You can go back, pull back, go away with your thoughts. You can go and figure out how you want to solve this mental issue, how you want to solve these traumas, how you want to solve what's coming up for you right now. It needs to be with some pulling back, pulling away. Pulling back and just being like, nah, I need to be out for a hot minute. Like, I need to take a break. I need to just pull back. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the way that's going to get healed. As far as solar plexus, it's hermiting right now because you can't be happy with other people. That's not going to happen. It needs to be there's a lot of internal work. Scorpio is not like a fun party, let's be out here sign. That's not what they're about. And so the energy is also not about that. So don't force it. For our heart space this week, we got the 8 of Wands, the 7 of Wands, and then the 7 of Pentacles. And this is interesting because there's a lot of sevens. But there's a lot of anxiety going on, and there's a lot of like things that one needs to be said, messages that need to come through. There's like a lot of like anxiety over those messages and waiting for these like kind of seeds that we planted through maybe possibly this moon that are not there, that are not coming up, and they're very stressful and they're very kind of annoying emotionally. And I definitely feel that this week, I will say that. But there's just a need to be patient and plan out something else. Focus your intention, focus your mind something else. If you already kind of worked out through this issue and you release this, but you still feel the anxiety emotionally, whether it's for a loved one or like you just have like some trauma that you need to solve, focus on working on those traumas, analyzing those traumas. But also, if you need to kind of, again, hermit, go ahead and do that. You need to build up your strength this week. This week is a very much like disconnecting type of energy, and so don't force it if it doesn't need to be. So like disconnect, have the strength enough to say no and to go within and spend time with yourself, and give yourself the space to analyze what needs to be analyzed so you can rebuild that ego, because this is the solar plexus energy right here. This is Leo. So it's like everything else is in balance and all our chakras are in balance, but they're depending on the other ones to be balanced as well. It's like a fun situation. So for our throat chakra, what is blocking our throat chakra this week? We have the Page of, hold on, I need to pick this up. The Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands in reverse, the Ace of Wands in reverse, and the Knight of Swords in reverse. So there's definitely grounding frustration, and there is a lack of this King of Wands. Our solar plexus, our will is not there. Our will is still blocked because we're very much emotional. And then our throat chakra is blocked because there's a lack of kind of processing all of these situations right now that need to just take time to process. This Ace of Wands in reverse is this grounding energy that we talked about earlier. I also forgot to tell you guys that I opened the records before I'm doing this reading, so the messages are just flying in all over the place, but okay. So this grounding energy, this intentions that we set are not coming up, like are not sticking, because we still need to sort out everything else. Like, you still need to wait till things develop, not rush into them. This is the reason why it's upside down. Like, you're not getting this ace because it's not ready to come to you yet. You need to be patient. You need to be patient. And that's not something that the King of Wands necessarily is, but you need to be patient. And so there is a kind of like, the Page of Wands is the initial planting of the seed. Initial planting of the seed. So there's a need to be patient, but like, mentally, our thoughts, what we want to communicate, we're just frustrated by it. And it's like, no, we need to take time to build, because the healing that comes from our throat chakra will come from this. Building, waiting. You have to work at it. You work your magic. You have to put that fire, that passion into something, what it is that you want to say. Also, alternatively, there will be some of you guys will kind of need to say some things to some people that, you know, possibly had started some stuff with you, or you started some stuff with them where the truth needed to be revealed, the truth needed to be said, and that's kind of something that's been coming up and causing a lot of internal trauma for some of you. Just say the thing, just do the thing, like, and end the misery, the mental misery, because that's what it is. Throat chakras get blocked just because you're not saying how you feel, what needs to be said, whether or not it needs to be aggressive or not. Sometimes you just need to say it. It just needs to be released. There's a release that needs to be had that is not happening. It's more like you're focusing more on the grounding, which is important, but throat chakra is not about grounding. It's about complete and total air, mental. It's not tangible, and so it just needs to be said. It just needs to be said. Woo, I'm going through this really fast. Okay, so for the third eye chakra, what is blocking our third eye? This is so fun. This is very, very interesting. So for our throat chakra, third eye, we have the 8 of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, and the 3 of Cups blocking our third eye this week. So first of all, if you have not gone into hermit mode yet, if you have not felt that vibe, you need to go into hermit mode. There's no time to be like hanging around with other people and picking up that energy right now. This is not the time. It's not the time. There is a restriction that needs to happen in order for you to rebuild your foundation, because we're not as grounded as we need to be. There is an imbalance throughout all the chakras for pretty much generally everyone, and so kind of being super social this week is not going to help. It needs to be a personal journey. That's what this is. The blockage is coming because you're not taking the time to actually be with yourself and sit with yourself. And it's kind of hilarious that the way we heal this week is the moon. No, I'm sorry, wait. Not the moon. The Hermit and the Empress. And this is Venus vibes, and this is the card of Virgo. We do have the moon of Virgo this week. So take the time to focus on yourself, nurture yourself here, like really focus on yourself. If you need to kind of realign yourself with the Taurus vibes the last week and fall into the Empress vibes, Libra vibes, because the moon is going to be in Libra as well. Do that, but don't socialize too much. It's not the time. It's not the space for it. It's just, I don't think it would benefit you if you were trying to work with your third eye more to be social right now, especially when your intuition, or if your intuition is already blocked. But if you have like a nudge to be like, I just kind of don't want to go out, I want to do that. Listen to yourself. Go in. Now for what's blocking our crown chakra this week, interestingly enough, we have the Star and the Ace of Cups in reverse, which is very interesting because it's almost like we're so kind of disconnected elsewhere that our crown chakra is like trying to figure out how everything interconnects, because this is all water. Now had this been like this as a blockage, it still would have pretty much meant the same thing, because it's like you have this whole destiny card, this whole connective energy, and this is very much Aquarius, Uranus, crown chakra. This is pretty much it, and like it's just blocked. But with the Ace of Cups, it's almost like there's too much emotionally elsewhere on here in your other areas that's going on, that's not allowing you to connect as well as you can connect with spirit, with yourself, whether it's you're going to be struggling meditating this week or not. I would actually use the Virgo moon to meditate this week. It would actually be really, really good. But there's a lack of connection there. That's why it came up like this. There's a lack of connection. There's a lack of trying. There's nothing there, and there needs to be something there, because it's important for this chakra to be not blocked. But again, the root chakra is still like getting there, so the crown chakra is not, it's just not going to be there yet. So there's just patience, basically, a little bit of patience. The best way that we heal this week, and it's funny that this card came up again, is the Knight of Wands, the Hanged Man, the Ten of Cups, and the Six of Wands. So there is kind of first of all, let's just notice the wands, because again, solar plexus is blocked, and that's what is ruled by. The wands are pretty much ruling the solar plexus, the action, the path, the drive. And so there is a need to, again, hermit mode, withdraw, don't move, don't interact too much, just focus on visualizing, focus on connecting, focus on healing your ego, focus on your mission, your vision, your emotional balance of yourself, not your imbalances. There is a need to withdraw and like really make a move to pull back instead of actually moving forward, because that's what's really pulling back and retreating is what's going to lead you to this later. As far as for our oracle cards, I was thinking, I wasn't sure which ones to pull. I have like 4 decks over here, but I'm just gonna pick whichever one I feel the most connected to pick right now. I think I'm just gonna pick this one in the Zodiac Oracle. So for this week, what is the message for this week? Okay, we have 2. Interesting. So, oh wow, this is interesting. Okay, so making a choice, which is 30. So that's what, 3. If you follow numerology, you can look that up. That is 3. That is a legua. And then we have sad embrace, which is 45. 4 plus 5 is 9, which is Oya. Interesting. I mean, that's very much Scorpio energy. So making a choice. You're required to come to a decision now. I feel like I should do the oracle readings first, because like it just reads the whole reading. Okay. You faced with a dilemma or a fork in a road and must make a conscious choice regarding the next action. Whatever that choice is, you must take the responsibility for it, yet you needn't be afraid. You may not have all the answers right now, because the way ahead can't be known until you've embarked and traveled a few steps. Trust your intuition, ask for a sign from spirit, and you will be led to the right path. If you remain conscious and aware, your choice will be the right one at this time. Life is always about learning. Success lies in choosing consciously, guided by intuition and spirit. For the love of God, I feel like I just repeat myself all the time on here. Okay, so sad embrace. Loss is a part of life. Let go and allow time to heal you. You may be entering into a period where loss is a theme. Perhaps you're having to let go of a long cherished dream. If so, take heart. This ending may have been for your highest good. A better and more powerful dream will be realized in your life if you accept the loss. Relationships based on faulty foundations are meant to end at this time. Disappointment is a form of perception. If your expectations weren't met, a sense of loss arises along with the sadness and grief. Express these emotions. Tears are like healing rain that can restore life in parched inner landscape. Growth is always assured. Whatever the loss, however great it is, let it go and experience your feelings so that you may soon see the beauty that lies ahead. Powerful stuff. Okay, so I'm quickly gonna pull a card from the Zodiac Oracle to see energy we should focus on for this week. Okay, I'm gonna stick to that one. We got the sun. There's also the ego, but this is also, I mean, the sun is in Scorpio. So don't underestimate the water. Don't underestimate how low is going to push you, how low is going to bring you down, as far as where it's going to take you in order for you to transform and release the things that need to be released in order for you to like let go and like do all of the things that you need to do. So it's about transformation. And sometimes we don't consciously choose it, but we have to do it eventually. And it's a lot harder when it forces itself on you. So I would just say embrace the energy for what it is. Cool. so I will see you guys next week. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. All of my links and stuff will be down below. I'm also having a Halloween sale for my website. I'll put all the info for it in the little box below, but it's basically 31% off all the readings and my entire shop if you want to check it out. I will see you guys next time, and don't forget to subscribe.